Yo,
Hey,
what's going on, peoples?
Hey.
what's up?
How'd you like that cinematic entrance?
It was
Oh, it's
dramatic.
No, I like
Wonderful.
So, I guess we'll wait for everybody else to stroll in. But, just off of who's here now, what are your initial thoughts on how? I'm gonna reserve all my thoughts until I hear everybody else first. But what are your initial thoughts on how this episode went and how the whole season went as a whole?
All right, I'll start. All right, so I like this. I didn't know what to expect, honestly, when you was like, yo, I'd like to have you on board. I'm like, I didn't even watch it yet. So I'm like catching up and I'm like, yo, this is really, really good. Like, I'm really liking this. Episode 9 was really dope. I'd have to say my least favorite episode. I don't want to get too much into it. It's probably episode 8. But that was only for like the first, I want to say 30 minutes of it, and then the rest was cool. But this was really creative. It was something very unique. I never saw a show do something, I think, that different before, with the time jumps and everything. It played well into the story. And I liked it. So, I'm a fan. And I can't wait.
Cross genres too. That was,
Exactly.
it was very different.
That's what it was for me. I was like, it's got the comedy element, and I really like that. It's got the drama as well, which is cool if it's done right for me.
Exactly.
I think it did it really well. So I like it.
I think a lot of people were saying that the only other show that came even similar to the type of format that they used was maybe Legion, the one with Professor X's son. A few similarities where it just jumps from thing to thing and it's confusing at first, but then when you get into it, it's like, oh, okay, I get what's going on. But yeah, very different.
Yeah, I might have to check that out then.
All right, Miss Nightsun, talk to us.
I loved it, and I got so emotional when the thing is closing in and they're just saying goodbye to each other. And I don't know, have we ever seen Vision tear up before? Like he actually shed a tear.
No.
That was just, it made me emotional because he's not that type of character to cry.
Right. He's usually perceived to be, just this purely logical character that doesn't really act off of emotion. So it was a very emotional episode.
I was also digging all the little nods to other movies too. There was just tons of them thrown in. Not even Marvel movies, like Wizard of Oz and The Incredibles, like little scenes. It's cool.
Even down to the the pose.
Yeah, like the superhero pose.
Yeah, because they had the what's it called? They had that little banner on the movie theater saying that they were showing The Incredibles, and then fast forward to the last episode, you have them doing The Incredibles pose.
Exactly. I loved it.
I thought that was awesome.
That's dope.
All right. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Did they ever have the Wizard of Oz in the movie?
Yes, they
monkey
did.
Thing? Okay, cool. So. Because Agatha's boots are like exactly like the way the Wizard of Oz, the witch gets squished. So
yeah. Yes, the same thing with the car going into the house and her feet sticking out. Yeah.
Well, the whole thing was like the Wizard of Oz, where you kept going from black and white to color.
It was,
and you had people playing alternate like two different characters in two different realities, essentially.
Which is a good segue to what your thoughts were on the show.
Was anybody else like devastated when you realized this was it? We're not getting any more WandaVision, or is that just me?
So I was a little mixed on that feeling because on one side I know we're not getting any further WandaVision episodes per se, but I did feel a sense of security knowing that Wanda's story is definitely going to be continued in other projects like Spider-Man Into the Multiverse and Doctor Strange. No, not what am I saying? Spider-Man Into the Multiverse. Spider-Man No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. That's what I meant to say.
I can't get my phone to stay right. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
But I loved it. I loved it, and I'm sad that it's already over. I not gonna lie, I had a really hard time getting into the first few episodes because I love Marvel, and I
Right.
already understood these first 3 episodes are just cheesy, over the top. We're in a different reality. Wanda's creating this. Like, I understood all of that, and so part of me just wanted to be like, okay, I want the action. I want to see what's going on in the background, what's going on outside of this alternate reality she's created.
Right. But you know what? The episode 4 gave you a new appreciation for what happened in those first 3 because they sprinkled in some things here and there that, you know, was like kind of like well, that was kind of random. And then when episode 4 comes, they show you why they did that thing in the previous episodes. So like the beekeeper, the helicopter, all of that was really, really interesting.
I can't remember her name, the gal with the glasses that was in all the Thor movies.
Oh,
Darcy.
Darcy. I was so glad they brought her back.
Yeah. And I think she's gonna be in Thor Love and Thunder as well. So yeah, she has job security.
But was anybody else freaked out when they showed Grey Vision?
When they showed who?
Grey Vision, like the recreated Vision.
Yeah, the white Vision. I was
gonna ask where did he go?
Say it again.
I was gonna ask where did he go? Like right at the end when he
that
shot.
Was my question.
Yeah.
That was my question because it was like, okay, his mind got opened. He was enlightened to everything that was going on. He got the memories restored.
Yeah.
And then he just flew the hell off.
Yeah.
Like he was ashamed of what he did thus far. So it was almost like he needed to get himself together and search for some answers. Maybe I don't know.
I was thinking Darcy went with him or something because remember she was like, oh, she wasn't there at the last scene, so I'm like, oh, she must be with I believe his name was Cataract.
They didn't show where Darcy was all this time.
Yeah, she crashes into I forget the guy's name.
Yeah.
And then she's just gone. We don't know where she went.
Yeah. She's with the Grey Vision, which his name I believe is Cataract. Yeah.
Cataract.
Yeah, Cataract. Yeah.
So I love how they just take like a 15 comic series of Vision restoring his memories, put that into like 45 seconds of screen time.
Yeah. So, okay. Here's my gripe, right? Okay, so on one side, I feel like I enjoyed the entire season.
Mm-hmm.
I love the way they strung us along. They sprinkled little details here and there that we thought weren't important and then became important later. I loved everything about the series. I think the people that are going to be the most disappointed are the people that created a laundry list of theories of what we thought was going to happen.
Of course. I didn't want to do that. I thought I had to do that, but I'm like, let me not, because I know what's going to happen if I do.
Yeah,
so I think my enjoyment of this series in general was because I didn't do that. But I know
I fell into that trap.
Yeah,
I fell into that trap because I was thinking of Mephisto. I was thinking of who's the amazing cameo that's going to show up. Come to find out that Bill Bettany said that was a joke, saying it was himself. Like, all these theories just came crashing down. I'm like,
so I still think we might get Mephisto. Like, I know there's people that are concerned about the whole culture thing with China and Mephisto, like, kind of being, since he's literally the devil of the Marvel universe. There's a chance they might not bring him in at all because that's a lot of money to lose. But the twins screaming for help in the background kind of makes me think.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a couple of things that I noticed during that after credit sequence with her drinking coffee and also reading from the Darkhold.
Yeah,
we hear the twins screaming in the background. I thought. I really, once again, the theories is what really messed me up because I'm like, oh man, they're finally gonna show Mephisto, but they didn't. However, I did understand that this is probably going to be a segue to, you know, what she gets into in Doctor Strange, because I feel like this Darkhold book was the missing book in the library that Doctor Strange was studying from.
Well, and the fact that Agatha knew who the Sorcerer Supreme was.
Mm-hmm. And mentioned him and said that her powers proceed the Sorcerer Supreme. I was like, oh, damn.
Well,
okay.
I mean, also the fact that Wanda's a Nexus.
Yes.
And then they throw
Yes.
the Nexus commercials in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like for and it's saying, deal with your problems so you can be the Nexus. That's basically what that commercial was subliminally trying to tell Wanda.
Yeah, I did catch that. That, man, they did this so well. They did this so well, sprinkling these little subliminal messages. I loved trying to figure out what the commercials meant. That was one of my favorite parts. Trying to decipher. Okay, this commercial is pointing at. Now I understand what the Yo Magic commercial meant. It was referring to Agatha sucking out all of the energy.
Yeah.
Right. So, and this is my only expectation I went in, and I'm going to go in with any of these TV series that they're doing, is they're setting up for the Young Avengers. That's why the age accelerated the twins.
Yeah.
We're more than likely going to get the Patriot in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which, fingers crossed, is because the time, if they implied the timelines merged, it's the actual grandson of Steve Rogers. They might modify the story to where it's going to be Steve Rogers' grandson, whether he is African American or not. I mean, and that actually kind of create an interesting storyline where if he is, because there's going to be at some point there would be a controversy because the parents would have had to get married either in the 70s, 80s, where mixed families were not acceptable. And I could see Disney trying to mix a storyline like that in there.
Yeah, and I think they might incorporate the Patriot too.
So, and then Loki's probably going to be young Loki, because if I remember,
apparently he changes. He takes different forms in different episodes of the series because they're comparing the show to like a Quantum Leap type show. So that should be interesting.
And the people he's in trouble with, the Guardians of the Time, I don't know, I can't remember their actual name in Marvel.
The Time Variance Authority, I think.
Yes. There's a storyline in the comics where Loki gets, after he makes his penance with them, his probation is being a kid for like several hundred years. And Kid Loki, in that timeline, Kid Loki becomes the Young Avenger.
Okay. Huh. So you think he might be incorporated in with the rest of the crew?
I do.
Kate Bishops and the Wiccan and Speeds and all of them. And I think Miss Marvel is supposed to be premiering in the Captain Marvel film.
Well, did you guys catch any of the clips of the Marvel What If?
I saw a few, but I may have missed a few. Which ones did you catch?
America Chavez is referenced.
Oh,
as a speaking like America Chavez, so Miss America will be making an appearance in What If. And if we got Multiverse of Madness, we can just bring everybody we want in now.
Right. So what I'm hearing about the Multiverse of Madness, there is a slight chance that they're going to cast alternate actors, people that they would have casted for the real roles, but never got a chance to actually do them. So, for example, there's going to be an alternate universe where Tom Cruise is Tony Stark. There's going to be an alternate universe where Emily Blunt is Black Widow. Dwayne Hurt, what's going on, sir?
What's
going on, y'all? What's going on, people?
What's up?
We're talking right now. We're talking about the Multiverse of Madness and what they may or may not include. I was telling him that Tom Cruise might be involved as the alternate Tony Stark. Once might be the alternative Black Widow, and I think they said they were going to have Leonardo DiCaprio as the alternate version of Spider-Man because he was going to be Spider-Man before Sam Raimi casted Tobey Maguire.
So you know what they could do then, because like Captain America came down to Chris Evans and Jensen Ackles, and Jensen Ackles just finished up Supernatural, so he's got some time on his hands.
He does.
That would be very interesting to see.
That would.
Yeah, I heard the rumors about. I heard rumors for the longest time about Tom Cruise actually playing Iron Man. I didn't believe it, but if what you're saying is real, that's gonna be crazy right there.
Because it's a nice little nod to what could have been.
Right. Yeah.
So now that you've entered the group, Sir Dwayne,
Yeah.
what did you think of the last episode and the whole season as a whole?
All right. So the last episode, man, I gotta be honest. It started off really great for like 15, 20 minutes. They was going at it, man. I was like, okay, they just not wasting no time. And then it opened up a lot of questions, man. Like the way the episode ended, I have a lot of questions, and some of them about Monica Rambeau for some reason. Like, how is it that? Well, let me just go ahead and answer your question first. But I thought it was a great episode, and then I'm confused on a couple of things too. In the whole season, I thought it was great, a great build up. Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yeah, she that part was actually super cool for me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
First of all, the shirt that she's wearing is very reminiscent to what her comic book costume looks like.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she became transparent with glowing eyes, I thought that was dope.
Oh yeah.
She's no joke. Apparently, she can take forms of any energy that she pleases. I think she has to learn the energy first and then duplicates it in her own energy signature. I think that's super dope.
Yeah. I'm with you right here, brother. And you know what's crazy about that part right there? When she was trying to protect the kids, I didn't know one of the kids that they could. One of them caught the bullet or.
He thought he was Neo for a second.
Yeah.
He thought he was Neo and decided to stop that one bullet.
Right.
What cracked me up was the fact that I'm like, wait a minute. So you have this power. You couldn't stop those other bullets before I came over here? Like, come on.
Hold up.
Yeah. I agree.
So, but nonetheless, I think it was equally very dope. So,
Right.
All right. So now let's be honest. What were some things that disappointed you? Keep it real.
Like I said, episode 8 would have to be my. Oh, I'm sorry. You can go.
I wanted Doctor Strange, dang it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I agree. I wanted somebody from like future, like I'm thinking, I get you Doctor Strange. I was expecting someone, somebody.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire, somebody from the Fantastic Four, somebody pop up.
Yeah, all of those theories gone down the drain.
Yeah.
Because we're sitting here trying to figure out, okay, who was Monica's special guest and her contact? Who was it?
Right.
Come to find out, it wasn't really anybody
Special
that we cared about, but they did give us a little wink at the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Her childhood friend / Skrull.
Yeah.
That she played with during Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. But I still like the answer. Well, not the answer. The question is, what issues does she have with Carol Danvers? Like, why is she mad at her? That's what we need to figure out.
That's a good question, man. I guess we won't figure out until Captain Marvel Part 2.
Yeah. I was just telling everybody else the theories that I formulated throughout the whole series. Yep. Because I had my heart set on some of those theories coming true, it was almost as if after this last episode, I was like, I wanted more.
I
I guess I was just being a bratty, ungrateful Marvel fan.
Yeah,
So
I can't blame you. I wanted more too. It was like, damn, I think that's it. Okay.
yeah, because I'm like, where's the Doctor Strange cameo? Where's Mr. Fantastic cameo?
Yeah.
Where did Vision go? Vision just dipped.
Yep.
He got his memory back and then just disappeared.
Yeah. That's a good question. Where did he go?
This is that I figured now would be the time for you to go and help Wanda, but he just flew that off. Like, where'd you go?
Yeah, on that too, when he's getting his memories back, like 75% of what you see is all Wanda. So obviously there's some emotion tied in there. You would think, okay, well now I gotta go help Wanda fight Agatha, and he just gone.
Yeah, and you would think that
up to this guy. No.
You would think that incorporated in the memories would be what's happening at this very moment with her.
Right.
So that you can go over there and help her. He was just like, nah, I'm just gonna fly off, figure things out.
Like, she can handle it.
She got it. She got it covered.
Yeah.
She controlled me all this time. I think she could do this.
Right.
But I was a little disappointed that I didn't. Now I did like a little bit of the fight that we did see between both Visions.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because that's something that we should have been seeing in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because they made Vision look like a punk during Infinity War.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like at the very beginning of Vision until I saw this, I was like, okay, I can get with Vision. Before I'm like, this man ain't nothing.
Yeah, they really dampened him in comparison to what he is in the cartoon and in the comic. Like, he's no joke in the comic.
Yeah.
Like, he's like the Martian Manhunter Marvel equivalent.
Like, he has an Infinity Stone in his head.
With an Infinity Stone in his head.
Uh-huh.
So there should be nobody hurting him or touching him for any reason.
They stabbed him in the Infinity War and he never healed.
So now here's my thing. Did you notice during the fight when White Vision and regular Vision were fighting, and anytime White Vision grabbed a hold of him, he would phase through?
Yep.
Why did he not phase when Thanos grabbed the stone on his head?
I was thinking the same freaking thing.
You know how to phase.
I don't know.
Because even White Thanos tried to.
I was about to say this.
Yeah, that's
dramatic
effect right there.
That's the only reason. A dramatic effect. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many questions that I had that could pick apart a lot of these different situations. Like, why didn't Wanda do the whole mind thing to Agatha from the very beginning?
Before I was like, hold on, you can do this?
Right. Yeah.
I could have done this 20 minutes ago. Like,
yes. You could have done this a while ago. Instead, what you do is you let Agatha suck all your powers and turn your hands back. and now you decide, wait a minute, I remember the other abilities that I have. Let me do them.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I had questions about that tue. Like, why she wait till then to do that? You know?
Yeah,
that was lazy.
I didn't know she could turn invisible. I didn't. That's the first time I've ever seen her do that.
Like, where was this all this time?
Mm-hmm.
You could have just teleported. And she did it so fancy too. She was just like, and then I was like, wait a minute. So you wait till now when things get really, really bad for you to start showing off?
Yeah.
Come on.
So, speaking of Skrull, has anybody else seen the little like side by side they put together of Nick Fury? Like, his tell to know that he's not a Skrull for Captain Marvel is he would never cut his toast diagonal. Go watch Age of Ultron. He cuts his toast.
He cuts it diagonal.
Either a big boo boo
or
Secret Wars.
See, now that makes me wonder if that one is a Skrull. If you're looking at the timeline, that would make him a Skrull.
Mm-hmm.
And that means all that time he was just chilling in space looking at beach holograms.
Yep.
Like a jerk.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that. That's crazy.
Is that who, do you think that's who the scroll was talking about at the end? I think she was talking about.
I think so.
Yeah.
When she was like, he wants to see you. She's like, where?
Exactly who I was thinking.
And then she goes,
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that's corny.
Well, it was.
They could have delivered that in a different way.
Yeah.
No, did anybody notice? Did anybody know? There was two different things that I noticed about this episode. Also, what did you notice about the part where the kids and Vision were disintegrating? Did you notice something about how it looked in particular?
It looked like a TV, like the pixels off of a TV.
It did, but it was also a nod to one of the covers of the comics.
Really?
Check that out.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh,
The same way that he looked like he was disintegrating was the same way that Wanda just went batshit, and that's how it looked.
Isn't that the comic series where she like just completely says, "I hate this reality. Screw all of you guys. I'm gonna make
She
my
just
dad's king of the world."
decides out of nowhere, no more mutants. Word? Oh, okay. So they no longer exist. Nobody is a mutant anymore.
When you're
Bless
powerful
you.
enough to read
Thanks.
that universe.
Yeah. Now there have been a lot of people online now doing comparisons to what would happen if Wanda at her most powerful were to fight Dark Phoenix at her most powerful.
Hey, I always asked the question about that too. Like, who do you think will win? Because they both very powerful and they kind of got a lot of similarities. You know.
Yeah.
I think Wanda though.
Maybe
I do.
I still go with Wanda.
I think it depends, because if I'm thinking back to the Dark Phoenix of the comics, the one that devoured suns for energy, I would probably say her.
Right.
However, there was also a separate comic in which Wanda took out 3 people that were possessed by the Phoenix Force. I was like, wait a minute. Damn. So it could go either way, depending on who has the most control over their powers at that given time.
True.
I also noticed, let me not say that. What did you notice about Wanda's costume? Did you notice any similarities to anything?
I thought her gloves looked like Mantis's gloves. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it did. It kind of did. But I couldn't help but notice that it looked just like this.
Oh shit, Magneto. Yeah.
I see it.
Oh!
Some similarities in that outfit.
That's her father.
Yeah, that's your daddy.
Oh,
I do
crazy
like
theory
that.
time. Crazy theory time.
Okay, I'm listening.
So, what if the Maximoff twins were adopted?
I think
and
they
their
were.
parents-
Yeah,
and the
weren't
parents
they?
never told them.
I
Does it
thought
ever
that
say
was
that in the
confirmed.
series?
I think that was the case at one point. They had parents, but they were foster parents that they later discovered, and then found out that Magneto was their real dad.
I feel
Is that
like
how it
she
was in
kind
the
of confirmed
comics?
that too. Remember at the end, she says, remember at the end, Wanda says, "Thank you for choosing me as a mother." I was kind of like a reference of, okay, you all chose me. I didn't choose to adopt you. So I took that as confirmation that they were adopted.
Yeah, I
So
think it was
does
a
that-
little nudge to. Yeah.
Does that
possible.
mean Magneto exists somewhere in the MCU?
Well, see, that's the thing. Okay, that's another thing that got me upset. All this time, that was Ralph. That wasn't even a Quicksilver. That was Ralph.
That was my
I was about to say something about that. Like, that ain't really him, and that's kind of dumb. Yeah, man, I ain't like that part.
That's why I was saying episode 8 when that happened, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I got confused right
That was
there.
kind of whack. I was like, all right. turned me off. Just a bit.
And it was like, so you're not gonna give us any type of hint that the multiverse exists yet? Like, not to mention they didn't really get into the whole missing persons thing that Jimmy Woo was looking.
Yeah.
We never found out who it was unless it was Ralph.
It probably was.
In retrospect, if it was Ralph, that's hysterical.
It is. It is. And then on top of that, another observation. If Ralph is indeed her husband, isn't he a little young to be?
Yeah, I'm like, that's your son.
That's her great grandson, dude.
Yeah. But even with her maintaining her current form of trying to not look too old, she's still too old.
Yeah, that's weird, man.
It's very strange. It was like a how Stella got her groove back relationship.
How did maybe I just didn't catch it, but how did she give Ralph Quicksilver's powers? Like how does this guy have the powers?
That's another question that I had. I think the only thing that I could refer to is maybe that thing that was around her neck that Monica ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because then he was like, "Please don't hurt me!" Right after that was ripped off, and he was like, "Okay, he doesn't have those powers anymore."
All right, he snapped right out.
But why specifically Quicksilver powers if you're not going to allude to the fact that the real Quicksilver is out there somewhere?
It might have just been Agatha trying to screw with her head.
Yeah, because they can.
Like,
you know what? I was really let down that we weren't treated to a scene with Speed, the kid. I wanted them so badly to do one of those, the Quicksilver scenes in X-Men.
Oh yeah, when it slowed down.
I wanted them so badly to have the kid do a scene like that against all those guards.
Yeah, when he was taking the guns and stuff. Yeah.
They kind of alluded to a little bit, like, because at one point Evan Peters grabs and he's wearing like a guard cap, and the kid does that with one of the guards. So they kind of mixed it in, but yeah, they didn't do the slow-mo.
They did.
That would have been amazing.
They did the original Quicksilver from the MCU, not the Fox one, which was kind of a letdown. But I mean, I guess they don't want to give too much shine to the Fox properties. What did you think of the glowing headpiece versus the actual headpiece that she ended up getting later for Wanda?
I mean, I noticed it, but I didn't really pay too much attention to that. I'm like really interested in hearing if I got something to say about it.
I don't know. I think I like the one she ended up with at the end. It's like darker.
Yeah.
Okay. So instead of the glowing headpiece that you see here, you prefer the actual full suit that she was wearing at the very end of the show. Yeah,
I like that better.
Okay. Martine says hello, everyone.
Martine, what's going on?
Hey.
Boopy boop. What up, Martine?
Thanks for the support. Now I'm trying to compare this glowing headpiece to the actual costume that she has now, and I'm trying to like decide for myself which one I liked better. You see here, okay. It is very Magneto-ish.
Yeah.
It's very Magneto-ish. Not that I'm complaining, because I know in an interview she was talking about how she didn't like her original outfit as Wanda because she was the only female character out of everybody that was showing cleavage.
Oh.
And she didn't like that very much. So I think this is a very respectful way to give her an outfit that's still, very much comic book similar without over sexualizing any of the characters.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was pretty cool. So now, do you guys have any theories now that this whole series is done, do you have any theories of where everybody's individual characters can go? Whether it's in another series, whether it's in another movie, any thoughts, any predictions, any theories in those regards?
I think because Wanda is using what's it called? The thing Doctor Strange can do, astral projection, and she's like reading from the Book of the Damned or whatever. And you hear her kids' voices. I think she is going to end up trying to bring her kids back or allow them to exist outside of, a world that she creates. Mm-hmm. And doing so, I think she's going to like accidentally like unleash Mephisto.
Yeah, because I think from what I remember in the comics, the kids were pieces of Mephisto's soul.
Mm-hmm.
So in the new iterations of how magic works in the MCU, it's basically borrowing energy from different dimensions. And if that is correct, she could be borrowing energy from the dimension that Mephisto is in and actually taking pieces of him to make the kids, and then Mephisto shows up and takes them back, and then she just loses her mind.
Yeah.
I think that's possible.
I can see that.
So I go back to I've been talking with Emery about this just privately, and her big thing has been she's kind of concerned they won't bring Mephisto in because that alienates a lot of the Asian market.
Right.
And so I was doing some research. I believe Nightmare is considered a demon class in the Marvel comic universe. Nightmare might be a character they could get away with, and they kind of just blend this. Like the MCU's kind of done that, where they'll blend character stories together.
So, do you think that in the MCU, Nightmare is going to kind of take the Mephisto role?
I do, and they kept talking about nightmares over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, they kept on saying the word nightmare throughout the whole series. I think that's a safe bet. That's a safe bet.
And so the twins are a piece of Nightmare's soul rather than a piece of the Devil's soul. But again, not so that way you don't alienate a good third of your income. Because while all of us in here are fans, we also have to kind of look at it. The pragmatic, the great Mickey Mouse is about the almighty dollar.
Yeah. We don't disrespect Mickey Mouse. He runs everything. They're throwing money at this point because they make money in so many different things, but they did say that the streaming services that Disney Plus offers is going to be like their priority now. Like the parks is an afterthought. Everything else is an afterthought. Disney Plus is their primary focus at this particular point because they're in it for the long run, from what I know.
Plus, I mean, the virus is out, so no one is going to the parks. And
exactly.
As far as movies go, movies are shut down, so it makes sense for Disney Plus to be the priority.
What do you guys think of the whole $30 premium access thing that they're doing?
I'm cheap, so I hate it. If it's good, I'll pay for it, But
I mean, it's cheaper than going to the movies.
It kind of is, because once you pay, if you think about it, once you pay that $30, that's the equivalent of 2 people going to the theater.
Yep.
That's not counting concessions.
Yeah.
That's not counting gas money that you have to pay to get to the theater. Yeah. And then on top of that, once you pay that $30, now it's on your service where you can play it over and over again.
Yeah. You can rewind it, pause it.
I think it's a really smart move. I think they're doing what HBO Max is kind of trying to do, but I think HBO Max is losing more money.
Yeah.
Because
how would they make money off of HBO Max? Like, or is it just like
subscriptions and stuff? From what I know.
Yeah, HBO Max is I mean, you get a lot of content. Yeah. But I feel like they're giving us way more than what they can get paid for. If you, what's that? Hold up, let me see. What's that? What's that $30 thing? So Disney Plus has this thing where they have movies on their platform, but if it's a brand new movie that it was just released, they'll put a $30 surcharge on it. And even though you have Disney Plus, you have to pay that extra $30 for you to get it on your streaming platform. Now, HBO Max, they're putting everything out for free.
Yeah.
But from a consumer standpoint, is really, really cool.
Yeah.
But from a CEO and investor standpoint, it could be detrimental because think about it. They're gonna give us Mortal Kombat for free. They're gonna give us Godzilla versus Kong for free.
Yeah.
What?
That's
They're
crazy.
giving us Space Jam 2. I don't even know why I said that in the same.
Why did you put that in the same boat?
No, I just thought it would be hilarious. No, I saw the pictures that they just released for Space Jam: A New Legacy. And did you hear the storyline of where they're going?
I said that.
I'm skeptical about that movie because is LeBron James gonna be Michael Jordan's son? That's my question.
No. Basically, so it's a completely separate story, right? What happens is LeBron. It's like a parenting movie where LeBron and his son are kind of not seeing eye to eye in a particular situation because LeBron's son is more interested in technology, but LeBron's character in the movie wants him to be more like him and get into sports and be a basketball player like him. And from what I understand, I don't know how true this is, but they're saying that the story takes place in some special AI at Warner Brothers Studios, and there's going to be kind of like a Ready Player One situation. Getting into the different IPs in Warner Brothers.
I'm kind
So
of
they're going to
okay
be
with that.
jumping from different movie to movie to movie.
Yeah.
In the Warner Brothers vault. So there were pictures of it. There were pictures of the Joker. There was pictures of Kong. There were pictures of a whole bunch of different Warner Brothers owned content. I think there's going to be a scene in The Matrix. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting.
It's either
You
going to
think Michael Jordan gonna have a cameo?
Nope.
No. LeBron's trying to get far away from him as possible.
God damn.
So, just from what you described, this movie is either going to be absolutely amazing or just garbage, and there's not going to be an in between.
That's exactly what I'm feeling right now. I'm like, it does sound interesting, but it does sound like it can go wrong any moment of time.
It could. Dwayne, man, Martine has a bone to pick with you with that comb.
I read it. Still got the comb. I still got it in my head. I got the pick right here, you know. Representing. That we do. You know. That we said.
But no, I don't know what to think about Space Jam: A New Legacy. All I know is since I don't have to pay for it because I'm already an HBO Max subscriber,
I'm gonna watch it.
Might as well watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, figure, okay, well, if I'm not doing anything that day, sure, I'll put it on. Not paying any extra $30 for it.
Yeah.
But the thing is, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
How much is the subscription for HBO Max? I don't even remember.
I think it's the same as Netflix. Or wait, Netflix is 16 now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's the same as Netflix.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, you're getting the movies, but you're paying more per prescription because the subscription of Disney Plus is only like $6.99, isn't it?
Yes, and what's crazy is if you get the Disney Plus bundle with Hulu and ESPN Plus, it's still less than HBO Max and Netflix. It's like $12.99.
Yeah.
And you're getting more content.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, did they sit down and figure this out? Like, unless the reason why they're hiking up the prices is to overcompensate for the money that they're losing for example, like Netflix, they put out so much content every year. They pay so many actors, they pay so many studios, and they lose so much money that they have no choice but to hike up their prices to kind of make some of that money back.
Right.
for the subscription. And I think HBO Max might be in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they've shown in Disney Plus whenever the season of The Mandalorian starts, there's a spike in subscriptions, and then approximately 9 to 10 weeks later, it swan dives again.
But you know what, though? I think as annoying as it is, the way Disney Plus is doing it, it's actually the smarter strategy to release new episodes by week.
Right.
Because then you eliminate the people that like to binge everything all at once, and then they just cancel their subscription. Disney's like, no, you got to stay with us throughout this whole long run to get any new stuff.
Well, and they're also getting smart where they're creating multiple Star Wars series that are going to be spaced out, and the next series is going to start just a few weeks after. And so it's just like those guys that were going to cancel their subscription. There's a lot of them who are like, it's just a few weeks. I might as well just keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering, are they going to have the Marvel shows and the Star Wars shows? Are they going to have them like released on the same day every week, or are they going to space them out and say one comes out Thursday, one comes out Friday, or how's that going to work?
That's a good question. I have no clue.
Yeah, I would like to see what their strategy is there, because you don't want them, I guess, clashing in terms of schedules. But then I guess does it really matter? Because all these other streaming services do the same thing. They release a whole bunch of stuff at once, and you just decide, okay, do I want to watch this or do I want to watch that?
Yeah.
Or if you're nerds like us, you just watch one, then the other.
Yeah, that's very true. And I'm actually super excited about the Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah. I can't wait.
What I understand, every episode is going to be at least 50 minutes, close to an hour.
Wait, what?
All the Falcon and Winter Soldier episodes will not be teasing us like WandaVision has.
Yeah, good.
It will be close to an hour long each episode. We're getting mini movies every week.
Good.
Yeesh. That's time I got to
best,
carve out.
Best news I've heard all week, man.
I'm super excited. Super excited about it. Because one of my favorite movies out of the entire Marvel franchise is Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier, because it was the most gritty. It felt less like a superhero film and more like a action spy espionage thriller. And I really enjoyed that.
It's probably the deepest Captain America development.
It is.
Character wise, because it's almost an Innocence Lost moment where this entity that he's believed in for years, all of a sudden the wool gets pulled out from under his eyes, and he goes, this is not what I signed up for. I'm literally working for the entity that I tried to destroy.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I really would like to see where this series goes, because if I understand correctly, with the Weapons Plus program, we could get some Weapon X type stuff, or further, Wolverine and Omega Red and all that stuff. We can be getting into a lot of that.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. So it's gonna be pretty serious.
But,
yeah.
So now, do you think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be as good as WandaVision? Better? Not as good? What do you guys predict for that show?
Action packed.
Yeah, I think it's
More
more actiony.
Yeah.
They're going to switch genres. I like the approach that Disney is taking, where they give us one Marvel property that's one particular way of one genre.
Yeah.
And then give us something else that's completely different. So it kind of keeps us on our toes, and it doesn't give us time to be like, all right, I'm getting tired of it. It doesn't seem mundane.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm definitely looking forward to.
I don't think it's going to be as like in the beginning episodes of WandaVision. You're just like, what is going on? And you're loaded with questions.
Mhm.
I kind of hope a Winter Soldier and the Falcon and Winter Soldier is more just straightforward. Like,
Yeah, it's
action,
like
go, let's do it.
yes, it's gonna be like a buddy cop type
Yeah.
Marvel version of Lethal Weapon.
Now,
Wanda gonna pop up in there.
You think so?
Watch. At the end of the season, she gonna pop up in there. That's how they gonna try to connect the dots. Wanda or Loki. Somebody.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
or there's another Skrull appearance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because remember they're doing that Secret Invasion series, so that could be a little wink to that. I can't wait to see what they do with Armor Wars. That's going to be another one. Marvel is just swimming in money.
Yeah.
Swimming in money.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they feel like. They could have a mediocre film and then create all these other properties to make you care about that mediocre film. How many of us didn't really care that much about Age of Ultron until WandaVision?
Age of Ultron, it was an Avenger movie, so yeah, I cared about it.
But if you really look at it, Age of Ultron is arguably one of the weakest Avengers films. Not that it was a bad film.
Right.
We're talking, if we're comparing Avengers films, Age of Ultron was probably the weakest.
All right, confession time. Who amongst us has since watched Age of Ultron now that WandaVision's come out to kind of go back and see the progression?
I went back watched some clips, some scenes, because it was like, okay, I'm trying to put things together. Yeah.
Between Age of Ultron and Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah. Oh, that's my movie right there. Civil War was good.
Till this day, I don't get tired of that film.
No, yeah. That was another Avengers movie.
It was
Avengers
2.5. It was Avengers 2.5.
It really
It
was.
had everybody in it except for Hulk and Thor. They were doing their own thing.
Right.
How do you think things would have went if Hulk and Thor were involved in that Civil War battle? And whose team do you think they would have joined?
Banner would have been on Stark's,
Mhm.
but then the Hulk might have tried to disagree with that.
Might have.
Would have. Sorry.
Like, it's telling the Hulk to do something. What?
Right? Yeah. I know. Whatever.
I'm just giving you crap.
Yeah.
I feel like
How about Thor?
Hulk probably would have joined Team Cap simply because he wants his rematch from the Hulkbuster fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes sense.
I also think Thor would have been Team Cap though.
Yeah, I think so too. Because Thor doesn't really like Tony Stark like that.
Mm.
He picked up Tony Stark by the face in Age of Ultron. He doesn't like him.
He doesn't like his arrogance. And
He doesn't.
Thinking that he could just do whatever he wants with whatever he wants.
You're meddling with things you do not understand. So, nah, man, I really admire how Marvel is doing everything. I really hope that DC takes notes. They don't have to copy them, but just kind of, approach it in a way that
it makes sense.
it makes you unique, makes you stand apart, so it doesn't look like you're copying it.
Makes you not do another Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice ever again.
Something that doesn't make
okay. So, confession for me, right? I actually liked Batman and Superman more than Justice League.
Okay, I'll allow that. I thought you were about to say you were gonna end it. Batman versus Superman.
No, I think Batman versus Superman was acceptable simply because of how trash the Joss Whedon Justice League movie was.
DC, I like superheroes. I like the DC stories. I want to like your movies.
Yeah.
A lot of them are trash.
They rushed.
Sorry.
They rushed them. Like the Batman versus the thing I don't like about Batman versus Superman is this. I don't like the fact that they made Zod the freaking Doomsday Man. Like they made Zod Doomsday.
I didn't like that either.
And I didn't like Lex Luthor in there either. I didn't think he was a good fit. Whoever that dude that
was not.
Lex Luthor's supposed to be a brooding sociopath.
Yeah.
Not the guy from The Social Network.
Right. Yeah. Who played him, man? He's playing like he's kind of playing a Joker or something.
He played the same character in a different movie. He played Mark Zuckerberg again.
Pretty much.
Well,
Right.
and he also played
That
the guy
actor's
from Now
not
You
very
See Me.
good.
Say it again?
He played the guy from Now You See Me. The guy from Now You See Me
Yeah.
is also Mark Zuckerberg, was also Lex Luthor. Like they're the same
Oh, be the actor.
arrogant
Like-
character.
Every movie.
I think that's the way that guy actually is.
Say it again?
I
I
believe.
think that's the way that actor actually is. Like I've seen him in interviews and stuff. It's like he's playing himself. So
He's not acting at all.
Wow.
yeah.
He's not acting. He just changes his character name, but then does the same thing in every movie.
Mhm.
Yep.
He reminds me of the way he speaks. Gosh, who does he remind me of? Who's that dude that always like that political figure that's always debating people? That Jewish dude. Oh my
Ben
God.
Shapiro.
Ben
Shapiro? Yeah.
He reminds me of Ben Shapiro.
In mannerism, yes. That's
Yeah.
actually an apt comparison because he always plays the hyper intelligent individual that can outsmart most everybody in the room and can just talk you down.
Yes. And it's like he has to talk incredibly fast to get his thoughts out before he forgets.
Mm.
It's and by the way, I do enjoy some of the things that Ben Shapiro is in. I think those are hilarious. When they were talking about there was this one clip that they had where they were asking him about the Boy Scouts or something like that.
I think
They were debating him and they were talking about gender change for certain people, and he was like, "That's great, but I think Boy Scouts should only be for boys. I don't think there should be anybody else in the Boy Scouts." And then somebody was like, "Well, who's to decide that?" He's like, "Well, it's in the name." I thought that was hilarious. So
that one was. I saw that clip and it's like, I mean, there's a Boy Scouts, there's a Girl Scouts, and then if you want them to combine, there's the Boys and Girls Club. I think that was kind of his point.
yeah.
I don't know.
That was quite intriguing. But are there any DC movies that you actually like?
Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Wait,
the
the
first one.
The first.
First
So
one, okay. I'll give it. I'll say that.
Batman: The Dark Knight, the one with Heath Ledger was the Joker.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? I would probably qualify that as a Nolan movie, a Nolan iteration, because I don't think that Batman is included in the
Oh, you talking about the DC universe?
DCU.
Okay. Okay, so we talking about connecting the movies. Okay.
The first Wonder Woman was good for me. I had a little gripe with Aquaman because Aquaman to me feels like they stole two different storylines and crammed it into one movie. They stole a little bit of Black Panther, they stole a little bit of Thor, mixed it all together, and boom, you have Aquaman underwater.
That's why I didn't like it. Like you said,
I have a big thing with soundtracks too, and the soundtrack in it is so cheesy. Like the fight scenes with Aquaman, it's just like bam, bam, action music, and it's too in your face with it.
It is, and if you look at some of the scenes, it's almost jarring as to how similar it is to the Marvel films. The part where you have to be worthy to yield the Triton was exactly like Thor.
Mm-hmm.
The whole part where they enter Atlantis was exactly the way they entered Wakanda. I was like, this is ridiculous. If you really look at it, Aquaman, that movie is basically Black Panther if the Killmonger was the good guy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, Wonder Woman is like the feminist version of Captain America, except in World War One.
It is.
Like,
It is.
come at me, DC fans.
That's true.
Like,
oh my gosh, that's so true.
It's the feminist version of Captain America in World War One.
And she even had the shield.
She had the shield. The German was the bad guy that was posing as somebody else. The love interest, like they lose the love interest.
The love interest's name was Steve, just like Steve Rogers.
And you lose the guy in the plane crash.
Come on, DC.
Plane crash.
DC, yo.
Like the only good Marvel or the only good DC movie is a cookie cutter copycat of Captain America. Come on, guys.
That's depressing.
So
now I'm actually holding on tight to see how the Snyder version of the Justice League turns out.
Yeah, damn, that's gonna be 4 hours.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You
Right
might have to tell me. You might have to tell me because I don't know.
It's long. It's gonna be long. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 hours long.
And if it's gonna be that long and terrible, yeah. So I'm like, I don't know.
I'll give it 30 minutes before I turn it off.
30 minutes.
I give it 4.
See, but it might be one of those films where it's one of those slow builds.
Oh,
and if you're watching the first 30 minutes, you may not get what you're looking for right away.
Right. I'm gonna just skip to the fight scene.
Oh man.
Hey, side note, did you guys realize the fight scene at the end of Endgame is like an hour and 10 minutes long?
Yeah. That kind of pissed me off, but it was worth it.
But I didn't realize how long it was. I thought it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah, that was long.
Like I just got caught up in it, and then the next thing I know, it's darn near an hour and a half later.
I think it's pretty clear as to what parts of the fight got the biggest rounds of applause.
Yeah.
It's interchangeable. It's between when Captain America. No, there's 3 of them. There's 3 major moments in the fight that made people go, "Oh my god!" The first one was the whole "on your left" part.
Yeah.
Where the ring started to open up and everybody showed up. And then the part where he finally says, "Avengers Assemble." And then, of course, when Captain America yielded the hammer.
He was able to pick up Mjolnir. So, did you hear the interview that the Russo brothers did about that? Because people have asked them.
About, was he able to pick it up the whole time?
Yes. And they said, yeah, he was. He just didn't want to make Thor feel bad.
What?
Well, there's 2 different theories there, right? This is how I pictured it. It could be that. It could be because he was so noble that he was like, let me not embarrass him in front of all these people. But there's also that theory of he couldn't lift it until he told Iron Man the truth about what happened with his parents. Once that was lifted off of his conscience, he was worthy again. But I actually kind of like that theory a little better.
Yeah.
I did too. But the problem is, if that was really the case, he wouldn't Thor couldn't budge the hammer until he was truly worthy again. That hammer moved.
It did. That's true. Yeah.
He couldn't.
Normally, he couldn't move it at all.
Yeah.
Captain America made it wiggle.
Yes. So it kind of makes sense. He just wanted to prove to himself, I can pick it up. Let me just nudge it back to where, so that way Thor, I don't hurt Thor's feelings.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Vision goes, it's time to go.
I don't know if there's anything I could do to make you trust me. And then he has Thor's just.
I thought that was one of the very few high moments of Avengers: Age of Ultron. I feel like that little debate that they had at the very end of does it count if Vision picks it up was really interesting.
That was hilarious.
Because they compared him to an elevator, but then at the same time, okay, so on one side, he's a machine like an elevator, and an elevator can lift the hammer, which I get. But an elevator isn't sentient. Vision is sentient.
Yeah.
So
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like I guess it just plays into the idea of like what's human, you know, what makes a person sentient, what makes them human in a sense. So I guess that's kind of where the argument is there. Like, is he a machine or is he sentient? Does he have emotions, you know? So
yeah. I don't know. I think he's worthy because he there was no ulterior motive with him. It was kind of clear cut. Like, this is what I stand for, and anything that falls in the category of what I stand for, that's what I'm about. There's no hidden agenda behind the things that I do. So he was pure. So I think that gives him the pass of being able to lift it.
So just going off the pure thing that you said, like he was able to lift it basically right after he's born or has a physical body. Do you think he'd be able to lift it later on with all that he's been through?
Ooh, this is a good one. Damn. Do you think White Vision can pick up the hammer?
Nope.
I don't know.
Probably not. Probably not.
Doubt it.
Because think about it. He's still, even though he had the memories restored, at this particular moment, he is only a machine like that elevator.
Yep.
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
Right? Whereas the vision that Wanda created in the Hex, that's a whole different story. Because that's pretty much the soul of Vision.
Yeah.
Whereas White Vision is just, I would have liked it if they just combined the soul with the body. That would have been cool.
That's what I thought they were going to do. Like I said, just shot up there in the air. That's it.
Yeah, I was disappointed. I'm like, come on. So instead of merging, instead of doing the fusion dance like in Dragon Ball Z, you gonna fly the hell off? That's what we do now.
Hey.
Instead of sharing the Dragon Ball Z fusion earrings, you're just gonna fly the hell off.
They could have touched heads or something, like nothing.
Yeah. Well, he was like, "May I?" But and I'm wondering if that was an arc reactor in his forehead too.
Oh, because of the shape.
That's what I was. Yeah. Even the same color and everything.
Yeah, same color, same shape.
What else could have
arc reactor?
What else could have given a similar power to an Infinity Stone, or anything close that humans could make, at least in the Marvel universe?
Yeah. I have a what if. Do you think had Tony Stark died in Avengers 1, where he was carrying the missile and destroyed the mothership, if he died in Avengers 1, what kind of storylines do you think we would have had from that? Because he wouldn't be around to create Ultron.
Yeah.
Plus, there would be no Vision.
Yeah.
Vision wouldn't have linked up with Wanda or Pietro. And Wanda and Pietro may have not even been in the equation because they didn't have, like, Stark is gone. So therefore, there's nobody to have their vendetta against. There's a lot of things that could have not happened had it not been for good and bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I'm going to kind of take an analogy from a very terrible movie. Did you guys see the Aragon movie?
Yeah.
Have any of you guys read the books?
I have not.
So the Razak, those beetle-like freaky looking things that they did a terrible job with, by the way. They look nothing like that in any of the arts in the book. Like, someone took way too much creative liberty.
Okay.
they're main villains in the rest of the series, and they just kill him in the movie.
Oh, damn.
And they went to apparently the guy who wrote the scripts didn't read the second book. He just read the first book. And then he I'm not joking about this. He literally went and read the second book. He's like, I can't even make a movie now. I just killed off my main villain.
That's always funny when that happens. It's sad but funny when that happens.
It's upset when somebody that clearly doesn't have a true dedication to the original product screws it up.
That's what makes it sad.
Like, what was? Oh, I got a question for you guys. Which movie was the worst live action iteration between The Last Airbender and Dragon Ball Evolution?
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't no question.
At least in Last Airbender, they had him looking right. They had him looking like a cartoon.
Yeah, but they called him Ong.
You get that Dragon.
Sold.
Get out of here.
That movie was bad. Both of them was bad movies, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a hard one for me. Like, they're both equally terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible, not equally terrible, but both terrible nonetheless.
Is anybody else scared of the Netflix iteration that they're gonna do? Hopeful,
Because we've been burned before.
Hopeful, but absolutely horrified.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have to pay 30 for it, so I might. Just because of that. But yeah.
I'm curious. I'll give it a chance. I'll give it an episode or two. You know, because I know with new shows, it usually takes about 2 to 3 episodes for it to gain momentum.
Yeah, my is always 3, so 3 to 4. So I'll give it about that.
So yeah, I'll give it a chance. And first of all, make sure they say "ang" instead of "ong." Make sure the character in the show, his eye was completely jacked up. In the movie, he had a little scratch, as if he had like a little scratching accident.
This Zuko's face is like incinerated from the
It's
ear.
supposed to be, yeah.
It's supposed to be burned.
Mhm.
He's supposed to look like a young Two-Face.
Yep.
Instead,
It's like his dad would just kind of
He just sparked him.
yeah.
rather
And
than
then,
take a
wait a
full-on
minute.
fist of fire.
How is he so easily able to slip into the Avatar state
Guess
and
what?
have that whole ice slow motion fight?
Can we pretend that? Can we just pretend?
He's
this movie
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, would you rather talk about how bad Dragon Ball Z was?
No.
I literally remember nothing of that movie. I have burned that movie out of my brain.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Really bad. Really bad.
Yeah.
Like Piccolo looked nothing like Piccolo.
Yeah.
I was mad that I saw it twice just to make sure it was bad because I'm like, is it just me? Yeah, it was that bad.
There's certain shows and properties that they should never bring to life. They should never bring to live action. It's perfectly fine as an animated property.
Yeah.
Leave it alone.
Exactly.
Dragon Ball Z, I think, is one of those properties. Unless they do some crazy new version that completely makes us forget about the old one that they did. I think
I don't think they will because I mean everybody know how bad it was. I don't even think they want to try. And
I don't think they should.
yeah.
Now,
Please.
Let's not put that in the universe. So.
Yeah. Oh, now with video game movies having such a terrible history, do you think Mortal Kombat would do well?
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for it.
Because the trailer was bananas.
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I think they doing it. They're giving us fan service with it so far. It's as long as the action and is great, you know what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
some of the
Because
story
the characters didn't wow me. Characters didn't wow me, but I was like, the action was good. So yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody goes into a Mortal Kombat film for its complex storytelling and layered characters.
No.
They come to see some fights.
Want to see blood and all that. Yeah.
Yep.
You know?
As long as they got
And
that.
They're building a Mortal Kombat cinematic universe too.
So, did anybody actually see the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I did.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I did. And
I have
actually
yet to see
enjoyed
it.
it.
It wasn't bad.
I heard it.
wasn't
I want to see it. I love Sonic.
Pretty good.
It was.
That's why I'm curious as to how they're gonna do Knuckles in the next one.
Well, they hint. I can't say this for the people who haven't seen it, but they
Nah,
hint-
go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah,
Spoil
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Spoil it appears at the very end.
Spoil it. Can't spoil it. Wait, spoil it.
Tails appears at the end,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I don't know.
but the other
Yeah, they did like an after credit scene, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then the other thing was Assassin's Creed wasn't that bad. Did you guys watch it?
Yo, I didn't see it.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I see a little bit of
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
should
see it.
have seen Sonic, but I should have seen Sonic instead of that movie. But yeah.
No. So if you're wanting the actual in-depth stories of Assassin's Creed, you're not going to get that. But the movie in and of itself wasn't a bad like independent action movie.
Yeah.
Because I went and saw it with my in-laws. My in-laws were like, "This isn't bad." I'm like, "You're not. This is not how good the story. Like the stories were way better."
Yeah.
But like, but no, you don't. I don't.
I'll give it another try. Because
You're
I
making
saw-
me want to see it. I haven't seen it yet. So now I want to check it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of like movies with it, like I are trying to push in-depth characters. The first Godzilla that they did back in 15 or 14,
Yeah.
where we got 43 seconds of Godzilla's screen time.
I got a question for you. Which movie was worse between the 2014 Godzilla and the 1998 Godzilla?
2014.
Uh-huh.
Even though
saw the
98
monster.
was weird, but it was a better movie, I think.
You think the one with Matthew Broderick?
It was more entertaining.
Uh.
There's more Godzilla in it.
I guess.
Yeah, there was more Godzilla.
More Godzilla. I'll give you that.
I'm not exaggerating about
Okay,
the 43
98 is
seconds.
No, I know.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. So now let me ask you this, since we're on this topic. Who is your money on, Godzilla or King Kong, and why?
Godzilla.
Saw this on Rizzo, and I still don't know.
Godzilla, man, because I think the commercials and the previews that they are showing, they're popping up King Kong a little too hard in this movie. Even though you see Godzilla getting back, but mostly it's King Kong. And he's doing the most craziest shit ever. Like he jumped through the air with the Stormbreaker. Come on, man. Pump that man up.
I'm gonna have to give the edge to King Kong because I think King Kong is a lot smarter.
That is true.
Yeah.
I think Godzilla has the advantage in the water because he doesn't have to carry his weight as much. Whereas if he's on land, you're not gonna see Godzilla jumping from building to building like King Kong probably would.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see Godzilla creating weapons like King Kong would. You know what I mean? Yes, Godzilla has that breath and he has those spikes. And yes, he did give King Kong an open palm slap. But I think, and this is just based off of seeing Skull Island Kong.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kong could adjust a little better than Godzilla does because even in King of the Monsters, look how long it took for Godzilla to recover to come back and fight Ghidorah.
Yeah, I ain't like that movie either. They doing it wrong, man.
I liked it better than the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was better than the first one.
Like, if there's improvement, I'll give a third one a chance. Like, if there was no improvement, I would have like, this series is dead. But there was improvement.
Yeah, true.
But I definitely think that Mechagodzilla is going to show up.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
I think that the Godzilla that's causing all of the mayhem and madness isn't the real Godzilla. And the real Godzilla is going to come along and be like, who are you? Hey, King Kong, Playboy, let's go hit this.
Let's go mess him up.
They beat up Mechagodzilla, and then they give respect to each other and go about their business.
I see that something like that happening.
That's probably right. I believe that.
That's how I see it. Unless Wanda shows up.
White Vision? That's where White Vision is.
You're right.
Man. But going back to the original topic, I personally feel like the series finale was very enjoyable for what it was. And I think I am accepting of a lot of the questions that I've had to not be answered as of yet, simply because I know it will be continued in other properties.
I made peace with that as soon as it ended. I'm like, I'm not going to find this out, whatever question I had for a while now. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
For now.
Now, if they don't answer my question in the next, Doctor Strange film.
Oh, yeah.
Then there might be an issue.
We have some problems at this point. We gonna have some problems.
Yo, Kevin Feige, do you need extra writers? Because I will come through.
I'll do it for free. I just need credit. That's all.
Yes. I would like a check too, because I'm sure Disney has plenty of.
Of course.
Yeah, they can afford it. They can afford it.
They definitely could afford it.
All that money.
Kevin Feige is. I think that's why Kevin Feige has that job. I think he was only in charge of the movies for like phase 1 and 2 at one point, and then because of how great of a job he's been doing, they put him in charge of all things Marvel. It's a wise move.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I think what's his face? Daredevil is going to be in the Spider-Man film.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in there.
But I don't know if he's going to be as Daredevil or if he's just going to be a lawyer for Spider-Man.
Probably a lawyer.
Kind of winking at the audience like, you guys know who this guy is.
Here's a question for you guys. Do you think they'll introduce some of the darker characters like Punisher or Blade?
I hope so.
Definitely Blade. I think because Blade, if they're going in the direction that I think, because remember, they're going to do a Moon Knight series.
Mm-hmm.
Moon Knight's pretty dark. So I think Moon Knight could probably lay the groundwork for, it's going to be a combination of the Doctor Strange in the movies and Moon Knight in the series, setting up Ghost Rider, Blade, Punisher, all of those darker supernatural heroes.
But all those heroes are still ingrained into the Avengers in different versions of the storylines.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to bring the young Avengers, you might want to sprinkle in like other, I don't know, adults that you haven't either killed off or aged off.
Yeah, I think they're starting multiple storylines. I think they're gonna have that whole Young Avengers setup timeline. Well, not timeline, but storyline.
Yeah.
Whilst them exploring the multiverse storyline and exploring the invasion,
The secret invasion
storyline. They have a lot of things going on at once. I just hope that they organize it in such a way that it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I
got faith. I believe in
because Kevin Feige knows what the heck he's doing. I have most faith in him.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see where that goes. All right. So I guess, do we have any closing thoughts on WandaVision or beyond when it comes to all things Marvel? Everybody look.
I'm waiting.
My head still hurt because WandaVision, the way it ended. It's like, where is she exactly? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think she's in Sokovia.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. And this
As a matter of fact, I think that part of Sokovia is probably the after effects of when they dropped that giant rock.
Oh,
I think that's where she is. From Age of Ultron, when they dropped that rock on the city.
oh yeah.
I think she went back and she's seeking refuge there. It's crazy how they just let her get away with it though. They didn't like pull her in to be like, hey, listen, you got to answer for all these people you held hostage all this time. Wanda was like, nah, I'm leaving. I'm going to Sokovia.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
That was
I mean, what are you gonna say? Like that woman could literally like rip you limb from limb by going like,
yeah.
It's like, you know what? We will accept your apology. Just leave us alone. I do think they left the door open for Agatha to break free, though.
Where is she?
I cannot stand her. I can't.
Yeah.
How is she so under the mind control without the hex?
Yeah.
that's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't know if it was some type of spell that was casted on her to have her stuck in that reality.
Yeah.
Or at least stuck in that persona.
Right.
Of the nosy neighbor, but that's a really good question.
So GQ, do you think she could end up being very similar to the Agatha in the comics, except a powerless version? So she's like a powerless mentor?
I think that's possible because she did end up being the nanny for Franklin Richards, which that's another thing we gotta pay attention to, because remember, Kang the Conqueror is coming during the next Ant-Man movie. So, and if I'm not mistaken, isn't Kang a Richards? Nathaniel Richards?
Kang is the future form of Iron Lad.
Okay. So then who is he a descendant of? That's my question. Like, how are they going to do that in the MCU? Because if you see the casting, he's a black dude.
Yeah, it's dude from
Lovecraft Country. Which, oh God, pause everything. Have you seen Lovecraft Country?
Yeah, I like it. But
it's very
weird,
very different.
It's weird, and I'm confused about some things going on, but I understand some of it.
Is it like
I get it, but it's not
uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's not really well, but I like it's weird.
Yeah,
I like it, but it's not
weird. Is an understatement.
Yeah,
it's sick in some way.
Very sick.
Well,
that scene with the Asian lady when she makes love with people.
Yeah, that was
happens when she reaches her climax.
Yeah,
shit, that's messed up.
Scary stuff.
Well,
yeah,
that
HBO.
was.
What do you expect though?
So that was actually a love. Like they didn't make that one up. That was like an H.P. Lovecraft thing.
Yeah, it's like
I've never seen the show, but all the implications you just described, H.P. Lovecraft created a character like that.
Yeah.
Also, H.P. Lovecraft was really racist against
Asians.
Yeah, and they made his character.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being around to see them take your property and fill it up with black?
I know that's what I said when I saw the show. I'm like, I know this man mad as hell.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm done with that. Now I'm getting new images of past episodes, and I don't want to think about it. Oh God.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Nightsun, if you ever get a chance, sneak a few episodes of Lovecraft Country in and let us know what you think, because you'll understand why I'm storming the way I'm storming.
Weird as hell, but it's
that just Ugh.
Yeah, nasty, nasty. Got some nasty stuff.
I
Very
hated.
nasty.
I hated the body transformation.
Oh, that was.
I hated that. Yeah, I hated watching that.
And the fact that she went back and forth.
For some
between
reason, I
transformation.
kept looking. I was like, "Oh my god, do not look at this."
There was so many times, like, what the fuck?
Let me tell you something. Lovecraft Country
You
is
cannot.
probably one of the worst shows to have on when you have a guest walk in at the wrong time.
Or if you have a weak stomach and you just ate something. Also, I'm like, I'm not eating nothing.
I was watching the episode with the Asian lady, right?
Uh-huh.
Where they were kind of exploring her backstory and all the stuff that she's done, right?
Yeah.
And my wife walked into the house during one of her scenes.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked at me and just shook her head.
You watch it.
I was like, no, it's not what you think. Like, sure.
Asian porn, huh?
This is what you watch when I'm not home.
It's always the worst scene that comes on when she walks in. This is on more than one occasion, right?
Oh,
When she walked in on that scene, I was like, I swear it's not like this all the time. And then she walked in on another scene on a totally different day. And she just looked at me like, I was going to give it a chance. Yeah, she was a little too freaked out. I get it, though. I get it.
Yeah.
It took me some patience to get through it. So, but yeah, so WandaVision did the damn thing. Marvel is doing their damn thing. And I'm really looking forward to the making of next week.
Oh, yeah.
Then we can have a break from these spoiler discussions because I want to be able to resume doing this for Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
For anybody who is interested.
Oh, you know I'm in on that one. If you have me again, you know I'm in on that.
Because that show right there is going to be serious.
Yeah.
So, but once again, I appreciate all of your time. Thank you so much for participating. I will be reaching out to you once again for Falcon and Winter Soldier and maybe some other things that I have coming down the pipeline.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Let everybody know where they can find you, starting with Miss Nightsun on social medias.
At Miss Nightsun on like every platform.
There we go. Straight to the point.
There it is.
All right, Sir Hurt.
At Dwayne Hurt on everything.
Yes.
Even Google.
And remember, Dwayne Hurt got some movies on Amazon Prime and Tubi. Check that out too. The weekend.
Just type my name in. You're going to find it.
Yes. Sir Ernest, the author.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Late Nights on Broadway. Right now, you can catch that on Amazon. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. You love Ernest. That is you_love_Ernest. Everything is spelled the way it's supposed to be spelled. That's Twitter and Instagram. Yeah.
It's like a Jedi mind trick. It's like you love Ernest. So Robbie, talk to us.
So just Robbie Whitaker on everything.
Boom. And then of course, GQ of those people. But for me, it's those THOZE PPL, the abbreviation for people, on everything. Patreon, Facebook,
Yep.
YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, everywhere you could possibly find me. GQ of those people, one word, and you'll come across my content. And of course, Rizzle and Clapper and Stereo. Oh, that's right.
Stereo.
Tuesdays. Me and Dwayne Hurt got a show every Tuesday on Stereo.
Yeah.
Check us out there. And me and Shamoon are about to have our own show on Thursdays. So check that out on Stereo as well.
Whoop, whoop.
Got a lot of things going on. Once again, thank you, Martine, for your support.
Yeah.
And we are out. Y'all take it easy. Have a lovely day.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.